Hey guys, there are 168 hours in the week. Let's make one of them happy. Welcome back to Happy Hour.
Why are we whispering?
This is the ASMR.
I was about to say, did we
This
start
is
her?
the ASMR episode.
All right.
Hey
What's up?
guys, what's up?
What's happening?
Nothing
Another week.
much.
Another week.
Yeah,
I feel like now that we do this, like, my weeks go by quick.
Yeah.
It
But it's
does.
also like what a month this past week has been.
What a
You
month.
know what I
Yes.
mean?
What a
Yes.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. This has been a busy week.
Yeah.
You said this has been a busy month for you.
Yeah. Well, like the past 2 weeks have just been like, especially this week, I keep forgetting it's Wednesday. It feels like Friday. Like the days are going by so slow. And then
Yes.
we've got no school Monday and Tuesday because of Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
We're off for the week.
yeah.
Yep.
I think I might have to get some of our teas from our sponsor. Kind of
yeah,
get me going.
Get to
Yes.
going.
You
We
wanna-
got a new
you wanna-
sponsor. Tell us about our new sponsor.
So TLC Nutrition is sponsoring us now, and I kind of want to try one of the teas for the first time on the air, because if I like get super caffeinated, we can like dive into the
We're gonna be
episode.
jumping out of our
Look at that bad
chairs.
boy.
Oh my goodness, what flavor is that? Fruit punch, green apple, and blue blast. Yeah, I think that'd blast me into like a coma.
It says sweater weather. For
Sweater
that
weather.
particular
Sweater
tea.
weather.
I love that. And then we've also got Bubba Rex jerky. This is our spicy version, and this is the dill version.
It's got
really
plenty
good.
more than that, though.
Yeah, they've got a bunch. And if you use code HAPPY10, you can get 10% off.
Yep.
Right.
And then our last sponsor, Deep South Gypsies, some of the best jewelry in town. Make sure you go shop.
Yep.
Yep,
Get
yep.
something for your significant
other.
other coming
'Cause
up
it's
for
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Valentine's Day. Yay. Chocolate. Speaking of chocolate, we
All
got
the other
some
things
that we
to
have
test
on the
out
table
today.
I'm going to test
Okay.
out 2 chocolates. It's Whole Foods against the local yokel.
Okay, so what exactly is Dubai chocolate?
I have no idea. It must be
It's just
something
like
that
a
came
snooty
out.
kind of chocolate.
Is it like
'cause it's Dubai.
pistachio? No,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
green crisp on the inside. Y'all want to take a look at it?
I
Yeah,
guess we
I've
can
never
do the
tried it.
little
This will be
test.
the first time I've ever tried.
So we
Dubai
have
chocolate.
Whole Foods dark chocolate honeycomb.
Okay.
And you were
Against-
explaining what that means.
Does this
earlier?
come in this
Some type
container?
of,
Okay,
like-
yeah. Comes in this.
Comes in that
You
container.
can put a bow on it for your
Yeah.
Valentine's.
Oh, so I got one of those
Part.
king cakes from the back Burley Market. They were pretty good. They were
Yeah?
all right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the cream cheese kind, but that's all they have. And so my brother tried it, and he was like, "I think they put butter in the middle of it." Okay, so how are we gonna break
not-
this?
I
Do we
don't
want to
know.
just like snap it with the foil on? What?
Oh, there is green stuff in it. So
Oh.
is this what you were talking about earlier?
Oh, I don't know.
Guys, I'm low key kind of nervous.
You want-
Mr. Gary, do you want the 4th piece?
I'll try.
I came in here and I handed him the chocolate, and he's like, "Is this for me?" And I was like, "It's for the
Happy
podcast,
Valentine's
but
Day.
you can have a bite."
You're part of the podcast, so you can
For the
of course try
podcast
some.
today, we are how many days away from Valentine's Day?
Like 4,
4
Here you go,
days.
I
Gary.
think.
Yeah.
We're just always eating on this channel. Okay, y'all ready?
So the first taste of the chocolate that you could potentially get for your significant other is Dubai chocolate.
Guys, I'm so scared right now.
I didn't think it was gonna be green in the middle.
Wait,
You're over there like devouring it.
I don't know what to think. So is this Dubai chocolate it's known for?
I have no idea. It's like, is it pistachio? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I don't know.
I don't taste the pistachio.
But pistachio tastes different than you think it does. Because when we went to Italy, I had pistachio gelato, and it was one of the best things I've ever had, and it kind of tasted like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about like the little thing you crack open, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
for some reason, this flavor is different.
Yeah, because that's what I
That's-
was thinking.
yeah.
it
I don't
would
know
be.
what those little fibers are.
I think that's like, it feels like wafers.
Yeah, yeah.
Are we just eating grass, guys? Be honest.
Okay.
It's really good. It's not what I expected it to be.
It's a lot like crunchier than I thought it'd be.
Gonna have to cleanse our palate.
What do you think?
Crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Crunchy?
Yeah. And it's really not like heavily sweet.
Here you go,
I don't know
Gare.
if it's because I'm cutting out sugar, but it's sweet to me.
Is it?
This next one is dark chocolate
Oh,
with
thank God.
honeycomb. So less sugar, I think. Was that milk chocolate? That was.
It kind of makes your breath taste funny after. You know what I mean?
So
You don't
this
you don't want to be eating that on Valentine's Day.
This is made
No.
locally. This is actually made by our
It's good.
secretary here at church, Nikki. This is where I got it from.
A little company. She has
It's
a little
really.
company.
I like
I
the
think
texture.
it's called Cookies Plus by Nikki.
Let's see.
Is that her little?
Was it?
Cookies Plus by Nikki Lynn.
By Nikki Lynn,
By
yes.
Nikki Lynn.
So this is dark chocolate with honeycomb in it.
Mm-hmm.
What does the Dubai chocolate smell like?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. So
Are you looking up what's in it?
Yes.
Okay.
So Dubai chocolate is a fixed dessert of chocolate that features a unique filling of pistachio cream and crispy. How you say that word? Kadayif.
What does that even mean?
Kadayif inside a milk chocolate shell.
Well, now we have to figure out what Kadayif is. All right, guys. Here's more ASMR.
So the dark chocolate is a little bit bitter, a little bit more bitter, but with the honeycomb thing in the middle of it.
It's like I get a flavor, lose a flavor. Get a flavor, lose a flavor.
I feel like this one is very strong in chocolate.
It's
Like
not-
that
it
one is
tastes just
very
like
light
Hershey.
and fluffy. This one's like, you want some chocolate? Here's some chocolate.
It tastes like the tiny little Hershey dark chocolate bars.
Mm-hmm. But I do like the little honeycomb things in there.
Well, I think what I've learned today,
You like jazz?
I'm not going to get Dubai or this dark chocolate for Danielle for Valentine's Day.
Is it a myth or is it a fact that dark chocolate is good for your health?
I think it's better for you.
I think it is
would
better. I
because
think
it has less of the
Yeah.
sugar.
Okay.
It's got entail.
I have a hot take.
Hot take.
Would you rather Easter chocolate or Valentine's Day chocolate?
Ooh, Easter chocolate.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
So I like, well, that's not really chocolate. I like the malt ball eggs at Easter. Remember those? It's like a little
Yeah.
malt ball, but it's like looks like a little egg.
Mm-hmm.
Easter chocolate is usually hollow. There's nothing there.
Mm.
Valentine's Day chocolate,
It's like hard.
I like
has
the
fillings.
nuts and the chews and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Those are my favorite. And if you ever had C's candy, that's what we're going to bring on here. I'm going to get a box. I'm going to have it sent from San Diego. I know they sell it there. I'm sure they sell it other places, but they don't sell it here.
Mm-hmm.
And here they sell like Stofers.
Stover.
One of those things. Anyways, C's candy is so good. Every time I would go home, I'd always bring.
And that's an
box of
Easter
C's
candy or a Valentine's?
No, they
Day?
sell it in boxes, but they sell it all year round.
All year
Just
round?
like everybody knows C's candy out there. On the
I'm a
West Coast.
huge fan of the Reese's eggs.
I like the
I
Cadbury
stash those
eggs.
things. Like I hide
Cadbury
them.
eggs. Does that get that stuff? What's inside those
It's
things?
like cream, but I like
Yeah.
the mini ones because it's like
Okay, but what's the little ball and they're gold and it's got the brown cupcake looking paper underneath it?
the Ferrero Rocher.
Oh my gosh, I could eat that all day
Yeah, those are
long.
good.
I just pulled that out from like underneath my ponytail,
Did
guys.
you?
Yes, I'm like trying to remember the name of it.
yeah,
Yes.
those are good.
Those are really good.
And you
My-
bite into them and they're hollow. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
They like melt in your mouth like perfectly.
I like the
Yeah.
little squares. You know what I'm talking about? They come in the like the shiny foil.
Ghirardelli.
Those. The sea salt and
Gary,
caramel
you're so
ones.
smart.
Hey, he's been married for a long time. He's got it down pat.
yeah.
Ghirardelli chocolate. That's from California too.
Yeah.
The like light blue ones that are either milk chocolate and sea salt with caramel or dark chocolate sea salt and caramel. I like those.
I always wondered though, like at Easter, who eats Peeps?
My brothers.
What?
Asher loves Peeps.
They're just so.
I think they're weird tasting. I think
It's
the
like a
texture's weird.
marshmallow with sugar on the top
Yeah.
of it.
Yes,
don't
but
like
you
that.
always go like I'm a very
people, like,
last
have
minute
to-
person, and that's the only thing that's stocked is Peeps. But everything else is completely wiped
Yeah.
out, and I'm like, nobody eats these.
Good
We
way
still
to
make
stuff
these.
her. So somebody said poke a hole in the bag or tear the bag open so that they can start to go stale. and they actually taste better.
Stale?
Yeah, instead of being soft and mushy like a
Okay,
marshmallow,
I've had one stale.
it gets a little harder and it tastes a little better. I don't know.
Yeah, listen,
Who knows?
my brothers are, as much as they love Peeps, they don't know how to close a bag. So I've had a stale Peep, maybe once or twice.
You've had to have that in your life
Yeah.
because you're brothers.
Okay. Well, let's go into Valentine's Day discussion then.
Okay.
What are you ready? Did you go shop for Valentine's Day?
So I get the same thing every year. That's because that's what's asked for, and so every year Danielle wants crawfish. On Valentine's. She wants to be able to go home, usually on a Sunday or whatever day it's going to be.
Saturday.
If we celebrate it on a weekend, whatever it's close to, she wants to be able to go home and take a nap and wake up and there be crawfish. So-
That is probably
so
the most
when
Louisiana
she lays
girl
down to go to
Valentine's Day
sleep,
ever.
I drive out and to the crawfish stand, get the crawfish, bring it home, go outside, put it on the table with the little plates and everything. And when she wakes up, she's like in heaven.
Do you
So
mix the
that's
little
her thing.
sauce, the ketchup and the mayo and the Tonys?
So,
Do you mix that?
you're asking a California kid about that.
You have no idea
and
what
I
I'm
have,
talking
like,
about.
no
No.
idea about any crawfish sauce. I didn't even,
Yeah.
that was fishing bait to me when I got here. I'm like,
Crawfish?
yeah.
Wow.
We used to shoot them with our BB guns in the little creeks. That's it. And use them as fishing bait.
And over here we eat them for
And
dinner.
here you guys are eating them, and I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like you're eating those crawdads is what we call them.
Yes.
Mud
I said, you're eating
bugs.
crawdads? And they're like, what? That ain't a crawdad.
Did you shop for anybody for Valentine's Day? Do you get your brothers something?
Your mom a card.
No, not yet. But I don't know if it's considered like Valentine's Day shopping. Last week I got my friends, like a bunch of my friends at the SJ office flowers. Just because
Aw.
they were having a tough week, and I was like, it's the season of giving, it's the season of love. I just want to show them how much I love them. So I bought them like a vase, and I got 2 sets of flowers, and I like made bouquets and gave it to them.
That's
That's
nice.
sweet. That's sweet.
Remember Valentine's Day in school?
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys
We got the
everybody got,
candygrams.
and you got the cards to everybody. You'd like for your
Yeah.
class, you'd write everybody cards.
The little Sour Patch Kid packets, they used to slap.
Yeah. I love those.
Those
I like the
little
little
boxes with
candygram
the hearts
thing.
in
Yeah.
them that say
Mm-hmm.
little
Different things on
phrases
them.
Yeah.
I like when Harrison and Asher come home from Valentine's Day at school, and then I just go through and I'm like, they're not gonna eat this, and I just kind of take it for myself.
Yeah, I like the candygrams when I was in school because
We
you
did
would
that.
sit in homeroom and you kind of just wait and listen to announcements, and then the teacher passes you.
Yeah,
Like just the thought of somebody like giving me a candygram. I thought that was fun.
yeah, we did that when we had color guard. That was how we got all of our color guard fees done. Was we would just sell candygrams, and it would be like a little lollipop or something like that.
I didn't know
but
you was on color guard.
My mom taught color guard here for 3 years.
Yeah, I was on color guard.
She went to LSU for color guard. Did you know that?
Yep,
Flipping flags. I remember that.
I did the rifle.
Rifles.
I love the
Rifle's my favorite. Saber, I'm like, I need gloves.
I never got into the saber
Really?
part, but
I want to try the airbender.
It's all
All right,
fun and games until you're flipping that thing around and that happens.
it hits you in the face.
okay. So
Oh
here's
my
a question:
gosh.
what's the best marriage advice you've ever heard?
I've ever heard or
You've ever heard?
I've ever
I got
heard. Well, I would say, I've got 5 things I put down here. Like I wanted to give like 5 marriage tips for Valentine's Day for those of you out there thinking about getting married or whatever. I think the best one that I've ever heard is do not let your marriage be Christ-centered and do not be unequally yoked. So, like, I can't tell you how many marriages struggle when one is one denomination and the other is another denomination, or they have 2 different religious views. But we're going to make it work because love conquers all, and basically they're devoid of any spiritual kind of depth or commitment, and the kids don't
Right.
get any because they're just trying to appease each other. Well, she believes this, I believe that, so we just don't go
Yeah.
or whatever. So I think the best advice that I've ever heard is being Christ-centered, and certainly don't be unequally yoked. Meaning, you got to be on the same page, even with if you're Christ-centered. Like, I do a lot of marriage counseling, premarital counseling, and my whole goal, which nobody knows, is to not get them married. Like, they don't know that coming in. But I'm going to ask tough questions that is like,
But it makes you
it's
think.
gonna confront you, like, are we really ready to get married or not?
Yeah.
And so at the end of it, I want them to walk away like we are totally in it. If they are off, they're not on the same page, then I give them that to go back and work on and come back and try to get them on the same page. And that's a big one where the girl's gonna fix him even though he's not a church going guy. He says he's gonna like go to church with her and stuff, and 6 months into the marriage she's not going to church because his heart's not on the same page. They're unequally yoked. And so if he's not going to commit and he's struggling, you're gonna struggle. Say it could be the girl could be the same way, but that's the biggest thing, because then it's like, gosh, it's walking on eggshells. It makes it awkward at home. You have two different values you're living off of. How you raise your kids are going to be different.
Oh, don't even get me started.
And so there's a lot of things. I mean, the top 5 things I would give somebody would be center relationship, don't be unequally yoked. Number 2, practice the idea of forgiveness. There's nowhere in the Bible that says you're supposed to say sorry. You should ask for forgiveness from your spouse. And so that is huge, and it's supposed to be unconditional. We don't use the D word, the divorce word.
Yeah.
So it's not, those are not part of the rules of engagement. That is unfair to say I'm leaving or I want a divorce. So they're not allowed to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
Praying regularly together, managing openly your finances together, so you know exactly where you are. The top 2 things, and the last one is active communication. The top 2 things for marriage failure is communication and finances.
Yep.
So if you're like totally open on those things and you're talking about them, you're on the same page. There's no stressor. You don't have a stressor next week because you know where you stand. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know how many groceries you can get. You're like, well, I decided to be frugal this week. We're eating chicken because I knew it was tight. But there's no argument that comes from it because I didn't communicate it.
Yeah.
You both knew that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
right.
good.
That's what I'd say
Yeah.
It's good.
as a pastor.
What about the worst marriage advice?
Worst marriage advice?
I don't know. I've got some pretty. I feel like all the advice that I've gotten was pretty decent. Like my great grandmother, before she passed away, one of the last things I was like, "What's advice you have for me, like just in life?" She was like, "When you get married, just like don't go to bed angry," and that I really appreciated that. And then I was working at an old folks home, and this guy was talking to me about just like life advice, and he was saying, find somebody that when you're running towards the Lord, you look next to you and they're running, but they're like a little bit ahead of you, and you want to just continuously push each other to go faster, and then make sure that the person that you fall in love with, their values are the values that you'd want your kids to have, because that's ultimately what they're going to teach your kids.
Yeah.
Then the worst advice, I've heard people say like, don't care about what his facial hair looks like or something like that, and I'm like, y'all, I can't stand a beard. I can't do it.
It's a deal breaker for you.
No, yeah. You have a beard? Cut.
Sorry. I didn't marry ZZ Top.
I can't.
You're out.
I'm going to act like I understood what he just said. I have no idea what he's talking about.
That's an old band from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
ZZ Top. They all had beards that were this long.
But yeah, it was like anything that has to do with how people look, I'm like, I feel like that's not always the biggest like deal breaker. I think a lot of it is your personality.
Yes, definitely.
So.
Looks is what grabs your eye, but then you gotta look past it.
Right.
Look a little deeper if you're gonna be serious about it.
Yeah. So in premarital counseling, I showed that there's 5 aspects of love: physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. And your grandparents, if we were back in the 1800s, early 1900s, and let's say you were my daughters and somebody wanted to come over and court you,
Yeah.
they'd have to sit there next to you, and I didn't even give them permission to hold your hand. They had to just sit there and have a conversation.
Yeah.
If the guy wanted to come back because he's like, she is so cool, I want to come back and talk with her more, then he's understanding her mentally, emotionally, and socially.
Yeah.
If he wants to see her more spiritually, he goes to church with her. They get on the same
Yeah.
page there. And then 6 months into it, the dad says, you guys can hold hands now. you know, and you have lemon. That's the most exciting thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
And it proposes. Mm-hmm. And so the physical was always just icing on the cake. You were married to your best friend because you understood them mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. If 3 weeks into it, you're like, she is a half a bubble off plum.
Right.
You're just not going to court her anymore.
Yeah.
And you no harm, no foul. It didn't
Nobody's
happen.
feelings getting hurt. Yeah.
Right. But if you liked her on all of these levels right here, and then you got married, that's why when you see your great-great-grandpa walking down the road holding his wife's hand still, they're like, they were not planning on going anywhere. They're staying together
They
forever.
always said, there was this guy I listened to, and he said, if you are a new couple going into a church, you find the oldest couple sitting in the church, that usually the guy has his arm wrapped around her, and you sit next to them and you learn from them.
Yep.
Wow.
And
That's
I
good.
have to agree with that, because that's 100%.
You know, the crazy stat, 1896, only 1 in 36 marriages failed. 1 in 36. Today, it's 1 in 2.
Yeah.
So it's a 52% divorce rate across America. In the second marriage, it's around 68%. Third marriage is 83%. Fourth marriage is 96%. You think you're gaining wisdom as you're going forward. You're not. You keep bringing baggage into the next relationship, and it starts creating this dynamic that's difficult. And I think a lot of our kids today, they go out and they see somebody, she's good looking.
Yeah.
They hook up with each other, and they're emotionally compromised and they're physically compromised, and they think that's love. Then they wake up and they go, oh my gosh, she's an emotional roller coaster, or he's got a short temper and a short fuse, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You don't know them socially. What do you mean? I always go to the bars on Monday to do fantasy football with my buddies. That's what I've always done. You're not going to change that. And you fell in love with this, or the idea of this, and you got to see that. So there's something to be said about courting and going slow. And when they're serious about dating, then if they want to date you, then I'm thinking you are serious about asking for her hand in marriage at that point.
Yeah,
like
I
you're
agree.
like, I'm dating her to find out if that's who I want to marry.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is a short window of time. So our girls, they all followed that same process. Our boys, same thing. And we try to get them to do that. And
I just assume that at this stage in my life, the Lord's called me to be like Paul and just kind of do it on my own. But I think that's kind of my advice, which I don't know if that's great advice, but like me and my friends at the BCM kind of view it the same way of like, you have to be very content and so strong in your faith journey that you don't even think about that, and that if the Lord did call you to just like ministry be what you're married to, if that makes sense, that you are fully satisfied and fulfilled with what the Lord has for you in that aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To answer your question on the worst advice, though, somebody told me one time you need to have an open marriage.
Oh,
And I'm
absolutely
like,
not.
I go, what does that mean?
Nope.
Like, your spouse and you should be open, like, if you want to see other people and stuff. I'm like, why would you get married?
Yeah.
Like, to somebody to have an open marriage.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst advice, which obviously...
I know somebody that happened to them. They started dating this guy and then found out later they had a wife. And he was like, oh, no, like, it's an open marriage.
We have an open marriage. It's all
And
good.
she was like, what? And he was like, yeah, like, my wife's been dating this guy for, like, 4 years. I was like, oh, my gosh,
That
girl, you
blows my
gotta
mind.
run.
There's nothing, like, foundationally strong in that. Like, think about the kids, the byproduct of the kids.
Yeah, they
coming
had
up in
kids,
that.
by the way.
And they're like, what happens to them? What
Yeah. What are you teaching them?
we could go
Yeah.
all day on that subject. But
Yeah.
this is supposed to be happy hour. It's supposed to be the upbeat kind of a deal. So, man, that's what I got.
Okay. Well, what did you guys think about the Super Bowl?
I thought it was great.
You did?
Yeah.
You must have been
A Seahawks fan? Yes, absolutely. I had a bet going.
wow.
I went over to a friend of mine.
Throw the number up. for
The Super Bowl.
gambling addiction.
Hey, listen. Okay, so we didn't gamble money. The bet was whichever team wins, that person has to buy all their clothes when we go thrifting. And so that's the bet now, and I won. But I went over to my friend Frank's house, who lives on the island, and him and his wife kind of threw like a little bit of a party. And so it was just like us and then a couple people from their church. It was really nice.
Cool.
So I thought that it was horrible for me because I wanted the Patriots to win, but and I don't even like the Patriots, but they're just in the Chargers league in the AFC, so I'm rooting for them only because the Chargers are in the AFC, and they got trounced.
Yeah, they got smoked.
It was ugly.
I know. I looked at the
Yeah,
score.
I
Like
was
I
yelling
didn't.
at their quarterback, and I didn't even like that team.
Yeah.
Where did you learn how to throw a ball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't watch it at all, and I saw the score, and I was like, whoa.
I knew that was gonna happen. I was
That's
like, they're gonna get
crazy.
Yeah.
smoked.
I was like, that
That
doesn't
just
even
got
seem like it
uglier.
was a game to watch. Like it was
Right.
just
It
yeah.
wasn't like it's fun when at least the other team is scoring every once in a while, and it's making it
Yeah.
interesting. But you never had that feeling.
It's
with
like
the
there's
whole
20
Super Bowl.
seconds left and we're
The
tied.
whole Super Bowl was like just getting slowly and slowly further and further away
Yeah.
from those guys.
yeah.
And then they finally scored. Like
Yeah.
it took them forever to score 8
Yeah.
points for like the
Yeah.
Patriots.
I don't know. I could never watch another Super Bowl after when the Saints won the Super Bowl. Okay, so for those of you who watched the Super Bowl, what was the best Super Bowl commercial? Because you know they're known for
okay.
their funny humor.
I have a couple of things to say while we're talking about this actually. So I don't know which one was my favorite, but I was watching some of them and like a lot of them were AI.
Really?
Yes. It was like
So how
The
do you tell
throwback
like when you say
versions.
my kids go like that's AI, like automatically, and I guess I can tell the way the picture looks like
Yeah.
perfect and smooth, so perfectly smooth their
Yeah.
skin and stuff. That's the only way that I can kind of tell that I'm assuming that
Yeah.
it's AI. But how do you tell?
I don't know. I
Like, do you
think
have a thing that
at
you go?
first
This is what I can tell.
So at first, before it kind of advanced, it was like the audio. The audio was kind of like it was fuzzy almost.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's starting to get more clear. Their mouths are starting to move a bit better, but the faces are still a little off. And we did something in our class actually that talked about a short film that was completely AI. It was like a 15-minute short film. And they said they spent this much money making it. They did all this stuff to make it. And they said the one thing we left out is how many takes it actually took and how many versions it took because, either somebody was floating, somebody had an extra arm, an extra finger. So it takes a long time. But I feel like at that point, just make it on your own because it wasn't even like animation.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they were depicting real people.
Yeah.
And so it was just like we were sitting there watching it, and me and my friends, we were like, okay, what is going on? Like this is AI.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say there was the Formula One commercial.
Mhm.
I just really like Formula One, and so I like the Formula One commercial.
Okay.
It was cool.
Okay. All right,
But-
well, let's get into our fun stories.
Yes,
I've
let's
got a
do
good
it.
one.
Okay.
I got a good one. So, this is a story from Louisville. It's about a mysterious dogs, and I'm a huge dog person. So there was a missing 3-year-old, and the police came to the house, and they were knocking on the door, and then came around the corner was this mysterious dog. Nobody knew in the neighborhood, knew who it was, knew where it came from. It was just this random dog, and it kept
Yeah.
barking at the police, and it kept going in a direction, and
Uh-huh.
finally the cop was like, all right, let me see what this dog. So he follows the dog, and it brings him to the missing 3-year-old.
Oh,
It doesn't
wow.
say in the article where they actually found the
Yeah.
missing 3-year-old, but the little boy ran up to the cop and grabbed him and hugged
my
him
goodness.
and refused to let him go. And
Wow.
so yeah, the
So
dog.
he wandered off and just got lost.
He
The dog
wandered
knew.
off, got lost in this dog.
Goodness.
Nobody knows, but this cop, the same cop,
Uh-huh.
has been patrolling this neighborhood for years. And
And
he's
never
like,
seen
I've
the
never
dog?"
seen this dog. Nobody in the neighborhood has ever
Wow.
seen this dog. Even they asked people from nearby neighborhoods,
Uh-huh.
who's this animal for? We want to tell his
Yeah.
owners. And they're like, nobody knows who he is. He was so random.
Yeah.
So the cop was like, it's definitely something from God because
Yeah, of
nobody
course.
knows who this dog belongs to. And so yeah, but now even after they found the 3-year-old, the the cop is still like patrolling this neighborhood, and you cannot find this dog.
That's crazy.
So
That's insane.
it's wild. Yeah.
Well, what was that story, Pastor Tom? You might know what I'm talking about, with the missionaries and the tiger.
What?
Do you remember that?
I can't remember.
Where it was like it was like a group of missionaries, and they were in like a jungle, and this people group showed up, and they were trying to kill them and like capture them, and then out of nowhere a tiger came up and scared them, and then come to find out tigers don't even exist in that part of the jungle.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a whole story about these missionaries like getting away from being murdered, and a tiger like helped them or something, and then that was it.
There's a lot of
I
missionaries
like them little like
that
random. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
There's a lot of stories out there like that. I know of one story that happened somewhere in Africa where these guys were praying and they were surrounded by a very anti-Christian religious group of people, and they're ready to kill them. And they're surrounding the place, and they're ready to drag these people out like they have done in these other places. And they just were praying, the guy and his wife and their kids.
Yeah.
And it just went quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and he looks out the window, and they had torches and stuff. They were just leaving. They just all started leaving at the same time. And he's like, they just continued to pray. They went to bed. They continued their stuff. He meets the dude, the guy who was trying to kill him. The guy gets saved in the village who was trying to kill him.
Wow.
And he asks him why he didn't do anything when they attacked him. And he goes, all of those guys that were surrounding that came out of the house and surrounding your house with weapons, we were not, we were scared, so we went away. And he goes, what guys? There was nobody there.
Whoa.
It's like, and they were standing guard around your house, and we did not want to fight them.
I know, it makes you go crazy. Like,
Yeah.
wait, I saw this.
Cool verse, Hebrews 13:2. Super good. It says, do not forsake the entertaining of strangers, for by doing so some have entertained angels without knowing it. That's Hebrews 13:2. Do not forsake the entertaining of strangers, for by doing so some have entertained angels without knowing it. So we get an insight that angels can manifest and like look like that homeless guy on the street who's asking you for something, and or a stranger comes in and he protects somebody. There's that story in New York where the girl was jogging, and these guy who was going to rape her was following her, and he started chasing her, and she's running and she's getting scared, and he just goes like this and he stops. And same thing, he said when he got caught later on, those two big, huge guys that came out and started jogging next to you and looking back at me, I was like, I'm not going to fight with those guys.
Yeah.
But there were no guys there.
I never heard that one. That
There
one's
was
crazy.
another one of like some guy, something happened to his truck, and he stopped at the gas station in the middle of nowhere, and turned out the gas station wasn't there.
So that was the one that
Yeah,
told.
you told
That
me
happened
about
to one of my youth in California, and her dad went up there. Their car broke down or was running funny, and there was a Texaco open right outside of Disneyland in Los Angeles, in California, in Anaheim. And so he pulls in, and they've got that old-timey garage with little square windows that roll up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mechanic in there, and he's working, and he pulls in, and he asks him, something's wrong with my car. Guy's looking at it, and this is where it gets crazy, because the guy's telling me this. This dad tells me this story. It's his dad, his wife, and his kid. His kid is in my youth group. And he says, look, take my car back to San Diego, which is an hour and 15 minutes from where they are, hour and a half. And take my car, get your family home. If you can take my car and come back up here, I'll have this thing fixed.
Yeah.
And it's like 11 o'clock at night, and the guy says, okay. So he drives, he goes, the radio's stuck, and the radio's stuck on like a Caleb station. It wasn't Caleb there, but it was just like this thing, and this guy's preaching the whole time. And the daughter had been praying for the salvation of her dad. He drives all the way down, drops the mom and the daughter off, drives all the way back up, listening to this thing. Later on, he tells this part of the story is later on, is that the guy gets saved listening to the radio.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, like he didn't accept Christ, but he was like convicted to the point that he needed to make a decision, which he did with me later on. He gets the car up there, stops. The guy's there. He goes, "Your car's fixed." And he goes, "Thank you so much. How much I owe you?" He goes, "Nothing. It's on the house. It looks like you had a bad day." The guy's like, "That is so, so nice." He goes, "No problem, buddy." And he gets in his car and he drives it home, San Diego. He calls the Texaco station the next day when he gets up to go to work. And they answer. And he goes, "I want to say thank you. I want to talk to the owner of the station." He goes, "I'm the owner of the station." And he goes, "The guy, your mechanic, fixed my car last night. And I just want to thank you. And that guy needs a promotion." And he goes, "We don't have a mechanic." And he goes, "Our gas station was not open last night, like at 11 o'clock at night." And he's like, "Yes, it was." Like, the guy's flipping out, going crazy. Such to the point that he leaves work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and he drives back up there to that gas station.
To see if it was open.
He
again.
goes into the gas station. The door's closed, but all the glass windows are dirty. And he looks inside and it's just boxes and stuff inside there. There's no garage. There's no cars working on. There's no mechanic there. They hadn't had a mechanic, the guy said, in like 10 years. And he goes to the guy. He goes, "There's a guy here." And he goes, "No, there wasn't." And the owner's looking at him like, "You're crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody did this. Nobody fixed your car. Not here.
Yeah.
You're mistaken." And he was so disheveled. He drives back and he goes straight to the church where I was working. And he comes in and he's talking to me about this and he's crying and he's just like upset. And then he's going into this this sermon he was listening to on the way up there. He accepted Christ as his Lord and Savior.
That's
right there. I
crazy.
shared with him that verse and he's like, he was shaking, so scared.
Yeah.
After he listened to that verse, he was like, "Oh my gosh." And the daughter was super excited that her dad accepted Christ. So that's all I know about it. It didn't happen to me. It happened to them. They came,
Yeah.
but I'm just listening to this guy and he is totally like,
Yeah.
"You're not convincing me that guy's not there." I was like, "I don't know what to tell you
Yeah.
except maybe this." And I showed him that verse and
Yeah.
he accepted Christ.
Or I have a friend through camp. Her sister, I'm pretty sure, went to this place in I think it was Africa, and they were taken to the top of a mountain where the people up there didn't speak English, and like some of them had never even seen like a white person ever. And they get up there, and the chief of the tribe or whatever it was like, "Hey, you've heard this story?" They're like, "Hey, we have this thing. We need you to look at it." And they walk into a room, and in the room on the wall in English was John 3:16, like written out on the wall. And none of them spoke English. They said they got it from the Lord, and they were just writing what the Lord told them to write, and it was the entire verse of John 3:16 written on the
Wow.
wall in English.
And the guy shared the gospel
Yeah.
with them.
And then like almost everybody in the tribe got saved.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was
Well,
really
good people around the world. Good
Yeah.
people. Good people. What
Cool
you got?
stuff.
Don't you have a cool story?
I do have a cool story. While we're talking about, people being saved, let's talk about some llamas saving some people. So, this happened in England. There was an intruder in this neighborhood just kind of running around, and they had heard, there's an intruder, we're trying to find him, whatever. Well, out of nowhere, this couple starts hearing their llamas, and their llamas are like crying out, and they said it sounded like old men laughing, and then the dogs start barking. So they go out there and they find the llamas, there are at least 10 of them, have circled around the intruder, and the intruder's on the ground like shaking. And apparently when llamas are like past dusk, if you go up to where a llama is, they like start chasing you. And the guy said they jumped on him and surrounded him to the point that he couldn't go anywhere. And then the
Wow.
police came and were able to apprehend the intruder.
Caught by llamas.
Caught by llamas.
I think them things are so cute.
They're 6 feet tall.
I know, but I think they're so cute. Like just the way they like stand there and
And
their
spit
cute
all
little
over you.
ears.
Like a mini
Yeah.
camel.
Yeah, I think they're adorable.
I think llamas are pretty cool. But I didn't realize they were that territorial. But
Yes.
That is a
yes,
cool story.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So-
That's awesome. All right, y'all.
Awesome.
Well,
Gosh.
I think that's it for this week. I hope y'all have a good Valentine's Day.
You guys have any
Okay.
plans? We're doing crawfish.
I think I'm just going to sit in my room and watch a movie, guys.
Our Mardi Gras ball is on the 14th. So
Oh, wow.
I will be dressed in a pretty dress,
I love
and that's
that.
what we're doing for Valentine's
Actually,
Day.
I think I have work. To be determined.
The
TBH.
14th is what day?
Saturday.
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 Yep.
So
Easy day for crawfish.
easy day for
Yeah, she can
Hey.
wake up at 9 a.m. and a nice
Just so everybody
Pot of-
knows, I'm gonna be at PT's house in his pool on Saturday.
on Saturday.
Having
All right, y'all.
crawfish.
Well, we'll see y'all next week.
We love
Tell us
you.
about our sponsorships if they want to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as we said earlier, code Happy10 for Bubba Rex Jerky, and for Valentine's Day, make sure you get your TLC Nutrition teas and your Deep South Gypsies
Yeah, great idea.
apparel
Great idea.
and jewelry.
Awesome. And don't forget to like and share
Subscribe.
and subscribe to get our name out there
Yeah.
so it'll start spreading the word.
And Jesse should be back in a couple episodes, right?
I know. I
Get
can't wait to see
excited.
my friend.
I can't wait to finally
She's
eat
gonna
that
have
Vegemite.
something under her arm.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see her. I can't wait for her to come
Vegemite.
back.
Goodness gracious.
Yes. All right, guys. Y'all have a good week.
You
Happy
too.
Valentine's Day. See y'all next week.
Awesome.
Stay safe. Happy Mardi Gras also.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Happy Mardi Gras.
Is that
Okay, bye.
last one?